Chat.
Yes.
With Kimberly, with Linda, and Elma, Sister Chat. So this is 2021, and we're going to be doing a lot of Sister Chats, right, girls?
Yes.
Because a lot of people just don't chat anymore.
No, they don't.
They don't. We text all the time.
Text.
Text. Let me text Kimberly. Let me text Linda.
Yeah.
And half the time, AARP don't check their text.
Amen. Like.
So, so we're going to have Sister Chat more because we want to talk about some of the topics. But what's happening is you all are not sending us any topics in. So we have to be very creative with our topic. So this month is February, which is Black History Month, also along with Love Month, y'all, right?
Love Month.
So we're going to be talking about love, XOXO. I don't know what it means, so we're going to talk about that tonight because all the AARP, it was just, I love you. What else did y'all used to hear? If you love me, you'll give me some. What else?
Yeah.
What was yours, Kim?
That was
Yeah, if you love me.
You give it up.
You give it up. Give up the cookie now, you know?
Right.
So we heard all this about love, and we really didn't know too much about love at that time. But we hear the word love all the time. But before we get started, Philippians 1:6 says, whatever God starts in you, you will finish it. And I love this sign because it says, finish what you start. We have too many people that start stuff and they do not finish it. So whatever you do in 2021, whatever you start, finish it. Okay?
Right.
And then give me a report of what you started so I'll know that you completed it. Okay? All right. So tonight we're going to be discussing love. Matter of fact, all month we're going to be discussing love, y'all. Isn't that beautiful?
That is.
We're going to be talking about love because we hear this word just thrown out there all the time. I love you, Linda. I love you, Kimberly. But are we just saying that just to be saying it, or do we really mean when we tell somebody, I love you? Question number 1 to the ladies.
Is that the question?
Oh, that's the question.
I love you. You love me. What else?
We're
What?
a
Happy family. So, yeah.
I think y'all made that up. But anyway, that's supposed to be Barney's song. That was Barney's song on there. But did Barney used to sing that little
Barney.
purple Barney?
Yeah.
I love you. I love you.
I used to beat Barney up.
Oh, Barney.
I did not like Barney.
And
for
Barney
some
was
reason.
trying to show love. Here
He
she is
was.
beating up. But serious note, we say
serious
that
note.
all the time. I love you. I love you. I love you. Do we really say that just to be saying it?
Mm-hmm.
Or,
Yeah.
Kimberly.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. She's telling the truth.
Okay, so let's talk about that.
Who
What
we
you
saying
say?
it to?
Huh?
Who we saying
It,
it
We
to?
just
it
said
also
to
depends
anybody,
on
do
who
we
you
just
Yeah,
say
say
get
it
up
to.
out my face. You know, it's a good way to end the conversation. Girl, I love you. See you later. Oh, she get on my nerves.
You know, I like that. You know, y'all see no pictures on TV where they be really talking about expressing what they want to say, and you think they really expressed that, and they didn't come back and say, that's what they was thinking. That's a good point, Kim. You be saying that knowing that you don't like them,
Ooh,
and you be
yes.
saying that.
Wow.
Oh, she talked
No,
too
I
much.
think that love word has gotten so easy to say, you know, that I think they taking the meaning out. Do you really love?
That's what I'm talking
I mean, and exactly what is love? You know, scripture said love is what? Patient, love is kind,
about. Mm-hmm.
love is all this. But the thing is, sometimes a lot of people can piss you off. And you're supposed to be in love with them, and it's like, oh my Lord, do I really love this person?
But you know, that's a good question. But what about you could be so in love with a person, and then later on you can't stand that person? What happens to the love?
Infatuation, right?
Is that what
That's all
but-
it was. Just
Yeah.
how
Cause
emotional. You
how
just
can
felt
love-
like all your. At first, you just feel like everything that you want is being done, right? Because it's always he did this for me,
Okay.
he did this, he did this, he did this, he did this, and
Uh-huh.
it makes you feel a certain way.
Uh-huh.
But once that's gone and he don't feel like doing it no more, I can't stand his black ass. Ooh. You heard me. I can't stand him. You know, it changes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
or
he's not
he's-
doing this for me. He's not
Right.
doing this for me. So it was more of a feeling.
Okay.
Right. Or you would say, you know, we used to do this and we used to do that.
Yeah.
And why are we not doing that now? I remember this story where this man was driving and the wife was sitting in the seat, you know. And she said, well, we used to sit under each other. We used to hold hands while we was in the truck and stuff. And his statement was, I didn't move.
Ooh.
So he said she moved.
She moved.
Ooh.
So, you know, you have to
I like
be,
that.
you have to be careful what you say because, and he's correct. He didn't move. He's still driving. Because hell, if he moved, they probably have a wreck. So
that's a good point.
You know, so he was just telling her, I didn't move. You moved. And then I think sometimes emotion get in there where you might be angry or upset with that person. But I remember my grandmother always told me, she said, if you ever get married, don't ever go to bed angry at each other. Hear that. Because I might die or he might die, you know. Yeah. So I understood that part, but hell, I went to bed a lot of times upset with my husband.
But did he
when
know
I was
it?
married? Oh yeah, he knew it.
Oh,
you know,
so you didn't listen to grandma advice.
You know, because when you get into bed and they think that okay, if we have sex, the anger will get out the way. No, hell no, don't be touching me.
Hell to
you
no,
know,
no, that's right. That's right.
You know, move that hand back over there on that right side and go to sleep. Whoa. You know, but love is strange. Love is different.
I think we don't allow love to mature.
Like what? What do you mean mature?
Like when you
in time?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Love has to mature.
Okay.
And most of the time love is immature to me.
Okay.
I mean, that's just me. It doesn't grow past
the
material things.
Okay. Material things, good.
Mm-hmm. We don't see the reality of just someone working hard. Your husband or wife, whoever works 16 hours a day. We have competitive love.
That's true.
Where we're always trying to compete with what we think and perceive someone else has or does or whatever. And we just don't allow love to mature and allow it to realize that sometimes a husband or a wife, whoever comes home 16 hours a day, 20 hours a day or whatever, they're just tired and they don't want to be bothered.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we feel like if someone wants their space,
give it to them.
Well, what's wrong with you? Well, you know, I just want you out of my hair. Just move. Let me just sit down by myself and breathe and unwind. And we don't give. You set up, Carlos. Did I say something right? Did I hit something?
Look
right?
at it.
He went back like this. And
he set up when you said that, didn't he?
And we think that because Keith and I, and I had to learn to allow love to mature. I mean, we are laid back, and what's so funny is that people say, "Does he have a brother?" But what you tell me you want, Keith ain't like that.
Why would you that up?
He's not like that. I mean, my goal was in this marriage was to make sure that I didn't try to make him be what I thought he should be.
I like that.
That's just number one.
You didn't want to make him to be. I like that, Kim.
I like that.
I like that.
We get along so good. I am who I am.
Right. So you don't have to pretend or nothing.
Okay. I just watched and observed what kind of man he was when I met him. And I never tried to change him from that.
Good.
Never tried to change. I changed me to see, why does this irritate me?
Okay.
Because he was already living like this before he met me.
Right.
So what's wrong with me that this is bothering me? You know,
so
after
you
the honeymoon.
did more of a self-examination.
I just asked the Lord, okay, Lord, why is this bothering me? He was already living like this before I came.
Okay.
What was the answer?
The Lord just started showing me how to adjust.
Oh, okay.
I like
that revelation knowledge came and I started seeing things that were in me that may have been from a perception I had about someone else. Relationship.
From your previous marriage, too.
Or just perceptions I had of what I perceived from other women that walk. Oh, my husband just loves me. We do everything together. We go shopping. We're best friends, and we're always here together, and we're always doing this together. No,
Kim is so drunk.
No, ma'am. No, sir. No, ma'am. And so you think, okay, if you're not doing all that, you think something's
wrong with your relationship.
Something's wrong with you,
right?
And it doesn't mean that.
No, it doesn't.
My husband, he gonna watch CNN 29 hours a day.
He loves it.
I'd be like, baby, I can't take no more CNN. I'm good. I don't want to sleep with CNN. You can keep it up, but I want to watch this now.
Right.
But it don't mean we don't love each other. I mean, the sound of the TV meets just like this. I got on what I got to have on. You can hear the two sounds and as we bypass each other. And we're both happy. He doesn't want to sit and watch all the Tyler Perry movies with me that come out because I only want the loved ones.
Yeah, I hear you.
He doesn't want. He's like, okay, how many more you got to see? You want to go watch, what is it, WWD or whatever, what you call it?
That's Chicago.
That wrestling thing that come on.
Oh yeah, I
WWE.
watch that every now and then.
It doesn't
too.
mean he doesn't love me. He's
Right.
being who he is, and that's why you're supposed to fall in love with the person for who they are,
Right.
not the things they give you. But we fall in love, I think,
Materialistic.
for what they give us versus who they are. And then you're like, well, one lady said, well, he lied. He's not who he was when we married him. I said, yes, he was, because I saw him. You doing all that same stuff. But you were just caught up. You were just caught up in all the gifts and the glam and
Right.
the holding hands and the dancing. No, he's still saying the same stuff he said before you married him.
You just didn't hear.
You just didn't hear it.
Mm,
You
wow.
just didn't hear it because
That's
you're
right.
like,
She
oh
just
my
didn't hear.
God, she loves me. We went dancing and we went for a walk and but he's still talking the same way. He's still the same guy.
So do you think that when you get in a marriage that you try to, both partners try to change each other?
Yeah,
To
and definitely
their
women. I don't know if men are men trying to change us, Carlos. I know women are. It's competitive.
Okay, we're going to
But
have to
why
put
do you
Carlos into this. Go
But
ahead.
why do you think it's competitive? I mean,
I don't know why we do that, Linda. Women. I don't know why women do that. Or one woman wants to be the alpha woman. Well, my husband and I, we go out to dinner all the time and we do this and we do that. And you feel like. And then the other woman will go over and say, well, honey, we don't go out. We just go over to mom and pop places. And he'd be like, well, what's wrong with that?
but you have fun.
But we have fun. But
That's
then you
right.
feel like you don't because this girl's over here, she makes it sound larger than life.
Right.
And you feel like we just go to mom
I
and
hear
pop
you.
restaurants and it's not as glamorous. Well, you
Right.
have to learn how to make what you do glamorous. If you wear sweats, make sweats the bomb. If you
Right.
like
That's
your
right.
country
That's true.
outfit
Yeah.
with your little
That's
straw
true.
on the side, you make it the
That's
bomb.
true. That's true.
Mhm.
For you, what you
I'm
like
in
to
agreement
do.
with that.
And they
But we
should
don't.
love you for who you are anyway.
But
it's-
the spouse does. It's just that we hear another woman talking and it just sounds so glamorous.
And then we start taking on what she's saying
Yeah.
instead of being appreciative of what we have.
What you
Because
have,
I
right.
used to do that. I tell you,
I used to do it when I
I
was
used to
young.
do that too, because
That's
I
how
would
I can
hear
say.
other women, and like I told my, I remember telling Glenn one time, I said, my brother does this, my brother does that, my brother does this, and you don't do that. He said, well, then you need to go marry your brother.
Amen.
And I went, huh?
Amen.
That just caught me off guard. He said, because I'm not your brother.
Amen.
That's
Now,
true.
you
That's
didn't
it.
marry. If you want that, then you need to go marry your brother. I said, boy, that's incest. He said, well, then don't be comparing me to your brother.
Brother.
Because
That's
this
it.
is me.
That's it.
This is what
Yeah.
you got. He didn't change, like you said.
Yeah.
He didn't change.
Okay.
But now later on in the years, I would like when we go out, I would like to hold his hand. He said, well, you don't hold my hand when we at the house. Why you got to hold my hand when we
he
go
sound
out?
like
He
Keith.
said, yeah, he
Oh,
said,
they
you
sound
just
the
doing this
same.
here to
Showcase.
showcase people.
Mhm.
And then you get home, you don't hold my hand and at home. I said, well, Glenn, we at home. He said, no, you ought to hold my hand at home too. And I was like, I guess you have a point
That is
there.
a point. That is
You
a
know,
point.
and I said, well, okay, then
That's
I guess
good.
you got
That's
a point.
good.
Because I was really doing it for the outward appearance.
Right.
When I
Yeah.
thought about I was trying to listen, like you said, Kim, you listen to the other people saying this, and this.
Yeah.
And then what happened later on, I found out they divorced.
Right.
Yes,
I'm like,
ma'am. They gone.
But you was talking about all this love that
Yes,
you
had
had.
it.
You and your
Mhm.
husband love y'all do all this.
Y'all on
And I'm sitting up there
vacation.
getting jealous. And 2 or 3 months down the road, they done got a divorce.
That
Or
was
feeling like you
facade.
don't have anything.
Yeah.
So what is love? I mean, what's the difference between, oh, I love you or I'm in love with you?
See,
There's
that's
a
good
difference.
question. Let me see if Google can answer that.
I love you or I'm in love with you. I mean,
for me, that in
it's the
love is
same-
the initial.
Oh,
Oh, girl, I'm in love with him. Girl, I'm in love with him. And then as I mature, I'm like, oh, he farts. Oh gosh, his socks. Oh God, you know.
But you still should love him if he fart.
Okay, in love, the romancing in the storm is just ended, and now you're just like, it's that everyday love. everyday life, everyday love. And I think we live for the romancing the storm, the getting up, getting dressed, the being, the limousine ride, the flowers, the red carpet, just that date. We live for that because it's exciting. But everyday love is work. I know Keith loves me as Christ loves the church. I'm good. I don't have to say oh baby, we in love, we high, we low. I just know he loves me as Christ loves the church.
Right.
I know he hears God. He not in church all the time. He knocking no church doors down. None of that. I know he prays for me. I know he hears God. Because there's some things I'll just pray and he'll do it. And it's simple stuff. It's not anything that'll matter to anybody else. And I was like, oh yeah, he loved me, because for him to go do that, Lord have mercy. And he was happy about it. So I know.
All right.
And I think me not trying to change him.
Right. I like that.
It's a big,
because he works, when I first met Keith, he worked literally for almost 24 hours a day, which I loved it because I just hang out in the jacuzzi tub, chill, have a good time. And he said the only thing that he required of me is that he didn't want a stressful relationship. Oh, I said, I'm good. Stress? I don't need no stress. Wear Tony Braxton. Put Tony Braxton on. You see you later when you get back.
Right.
And that was it. And I'm always the driver. Because he's normally working. Right. So I normally drive. And normally when we walk out the house, he may be talking to an employee. So he doesn't open the door. He goes and get in the car, which is okay with me.
That's right.
Because I know where we're going. While we in the store and he on that phone, I be putting stuff in the cart. I be smiling at him, keep on talking. Then we get to the register, he ringing us like, I was like, keep on talking. And we get home, he said, how the hell all this stuff get in the basket? I said, I don't know.
Because he on the phone working, you just
I'm just throwing that stuff in there. And then one time he said, oh, y'all, I got to get off. I got to keep it out of my wife because she be throwing stuff in the basket. And I didn't know what she's doing. But that's how we work. And that's how we know we love each other. Me driving isn't a big deal. And him opening the door for me isn't a big deal. I remember the first time I went on a date and he was talking and he was trying to open the door. He didn't give me a chance to get my leg in. He done closed my leg in the door. I said, bro, I got the door. You just make sure the bills are paid. I got the door. Yeah. But see, I know he loves me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not concerned about having to drive, whereas my other friend was like, oh my gosh, girl, no, everywhere we go, my husband has to drive and he has to put gas in the car. I was like, so if he's out of town, who's going to put gas in your car?
And who's going to drive you?
Well, he's going to make sure it's full before he leaves.
But he may be gone 2 weeks.
Drive though?
You know, she going to be gone 2 weeks.
Who gonna
You know, like we don't
stay at home 2 weeks and wait on him to come drive you.
So see, some things aren't realistic. So you have to figure out what works for you and your husband. Because as long as you're in agreement,
I like that.
It's love.
That's right.
I don't mind taking out the trash can. Because there's some things that Keith get me that I know my check ain't gonna let me buy. Mm-hmm. You know, it's some things that he's went out and done for me. Like every year he has like goals that he's gonna achieve the next year.
Right.
And then sometimes he'll just move all those goals to the bottom to bring me to do something for me that we don't even need. He'll just go do it for me. Right. To me, that's that exchange. That's that love. That's that love that we have for each other. Even if I don't cook. Hello.
Even if she doesn't cook, I thought he bought you some pots and pans. I remember Keith said, I bought some pots and pans.
We're getting a new oven. He wants this new type oven. I don't even know what it's called. I was like, okay. I don't know who's going to be using it.
Is he going to be the one cooking?
I guess so. We're going to just be looking at it shine. Because I like
a kitchen has to have an oven in it.
I like the Alclad pots and pans. Suda, she's an excellent cook. And she showed me all her pots. Oh, they are the best pots. Oh my gosh. I said, okay, let's get those. So
are they gonna be decoration in
your house? Yes.
And you know when you said
decorations.
I thought about that when Kim said that. The pots and pans that I have are pots and pans that I bought when I was in college.
Oh wow.
And you know, everybody that was in college, most of the time they bought this international pots and pans that last for, you know what I'm talking about? They last for years. Do you know I still have those pans?
That's good. That's
I bought them from college all the way up to now. We've been married 39 years. Woo! And I still cook out those pans. Even though they handicapped now. One arm is missing.
Decapitated.
But I still have those pans. And I was telling Glenn the other day when you brought that up, I thought about it. I said, Glenn, do you know these pans actually are lifetime pans, except for the handles. You know, you wear the handles out.
Always replace.
But it just amazed me how these pans last, like they say, they still last for a lifetime. You know, but love is like you say, love is what you build on.
Yes, how you
know,
do it. Make your own traditions.
You make your own, and you can't compare your love to somebody else's love because it's different, because we're all created different in God.
Yes,
we're all created different in God. You know, even when the Bible talks about God so loved the world, he so loved the world. That means he put everything in the world, that he gave his only begotten son.
Yes.
You asked me to give up my son, I'm gonna have to, oh God, I have to really go to fast. Because that is something to think about, that you want to give up your son. Abraham went through it and was going to make a sacrifice over his son, you know. But that was a test for God to say, do you really trust me, Abraham? You know what I'm saying? And sometimes he'll do that because he wants to know that we really love him. Do you love him?
God for Jesus.
Yes. Thank God for Jesus.
Mediator.
Because I could not, the thought, I only have one son. You know, he can give me hell back, and you know, he's good at sometimes. But the thing is, the thought of me giving, I think I would ask God, can I just go ahead and sacrifice myself and save him? Because he still has his life. I live mine. You know, that's something to.
But Linda's so kind. Linda's so kind, y'all. Steven Sebastian, if we got to choose, Jason, y'all got to choose between me and y'all. Bye.
That Kim, I tell you, Kim, that Kim.
But you stop and think about that. I mean, Abraham,
that's big.
But Abraham also knew that that they was gonna go back down together as well. I feel.
Yeah, I do too. I feel like he knew. It was something about God he knew.
But
there was a
knowing.
He had that. There was a knowing on the inside. I think he was a type and shadow of what was to come when Jesus was raised from the dead, and then we begin to live by faith for us.
Right. That's it. And that's the thing, because like you said, you have to have that faith to say, you know what? I'm going to trust God. What else do I have?
Nothing.
You know, when you think about it, you don't have nothing else. When you said,
we don't have anything else.
You know, even when I was sick, back in December when I was sick and everything, and I kept hearing the voice saying, do you trust me?
Wow.
And I kept saying, yes, Lord, I do trust. You know, I do trust you. And I would say, by his stripes, I am healed. And he would ask me, do you trust me? And it was like, am I doubting him? You know I love you, but I kept hearing it. And it was like, if you really trust me, then you already healed. And I'm like, but I don't feel healed. I'm still sick, you know, I'm still going through this, you know, but he still loved me.
He does, yeah.
He still loved me, even though I was doubting. And maybe I was doubting, I don't know. But all I know was to say, by his stripes I'm healed. And I said, Lord, you said in your word that if I ask you anything, I'm asking you now, I'm trusting, believe, I want to get up off this here sick bed. I started talking like that. And then he would say, well, you need to get up. And I'm like, get up. You say you try to get up. So I would get up at 3 a.m. I'm in there changing my sheets and washing my clothes, and I started feeling better.
That's good.
That's good. And then my sister came to me in a dream or a vision, I don't know. She was telling me, she said, call your doctor. She said, you don't have COVID, call your doctor and she'll tell you. So I called my doctor and she told me, and she gave me the stuff and I started feeling better. And then I started feeling even a little better, you know. But the thing of it is that I had to love God. I have to love him. And love is just something that you really can't. Can you describe love? It's hard to describe love. Can you describe?
It's very hard to describe love. I mean, it's not hard to describe when you say, I love Jesus. It's not hard because you look at the things that he has done for you and completed you, you know, and taking you out of your misery. That's where I was when I was out there sinning, but I was enjoying the hell out of sinning.
Sure was.
Oh yeah, I drink to that.
Let's drink to that. Woo. Flashback.
And then he just taken
yes,
me,
Lord.
you know, and protected me. So I love Jesus. Now, there's one man that I know that I was in love with.
Okay, how did you know you was in love with?
Because we would do we could say the same thing at the same time, and he would do for me, and I would do. He surprised me with, and then it started off as friendship,
Okay.
and then
Okay.
it into okay, let's see how far this is gonna go, and he would stop at the store and say, well, I thought about you, so
yes,
I brought this,
that's
and I
good.
would go
Yes.
into the store, and if I see something like a pair of pants, or I said, oh, he might like this.
Yes.
So I would go and purchase it, regardless if he didn't like it or not. It was something, because it's always in your head. You know how Jesus is
I
always
like that.
in your head.
Yes.
He was always in my head, and I guess I was always in his head because he wanted to provide for me. And see, in the same instance, Jesus provides for us.
Yes.
But
yes.
and then it just and all of a sudden it was just, so I think I was in love with this person.
Okay, because you was thinking about him, he was thinking about you, you thinking about him. That could be a form of in love.
And it's unique to each person.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
unique,
to each
That's
person,
good, that's
and
right.
you create. That's just like, if you went to your house, my house, it'd all be uniquely different in how we
Different, right.
decorate it,
Right.
That's
where we
right.
place things. You
Right.
can give us the same bedroom or the same kitchen, and we will all uniquely do it.
It's
And
all
I think that's
different,
how love
right.
is. I think so many people are missing out on love
Yes.
because we're wanting it to be like someone else.
Yes.
Whether it's
that's
Beyonce, whether it's
Right.
Denzel, whether it's your pastor, we're always wanting it to be like someone else's instead of just stopping
And being you.
Yeah.
and just realizing who you are, the
Yes.
beauty that's within you, the bad, the good, and the ugly,
And ugly.
Yeah.
and the beauty within that person.
Mhm.
Like, Keith took on, I have 3 boys. He's never had kids, never been married, and I had already been married.
Mhm.
And just seeing the things that he does for my children, that just because we're married, it doesn't mean he's required to do it. Like there's a law, like you got to do
Well,
this.
you know how they said, if he married you, he married the children.
That was not my thinking. That
Thank
was
you.
not
Thank
what
you.
God gave
I've
me.
heard that before.
No,
Yeah.
ma'am, no, ma'am. That's
I
why
hear you.
a lot
Thank
of those
you.
relationships don't
Yes.
work because to me,
Yes.
I didn't put that type of demand on him.
Mhm.
Where you got to do this, you got to do that. No, I sit and talk to my kids. Now listen, your daddy not here.
He was providing.
He took
for
us
them.
in.
Mhm.
He
That
took
was
us
good.
in. So we're gonna learn how to appreciate that first. Let me teach
Thank
you how to
you.
appreciate this,
Right.
because he didn't have to do anything, because he never had kids.
Mhm.
So he became a ready-made dad. Sebastian, when I had gone over to his house, Sebastian, I had gone because his cousin was there and she invited us to church. And we were just waiting to leave. She had cooked dinner for us. We were waiting to leave. Keith that came in, and Sebastian was probably 2. And for some reason, he just grabbed Keith's leg. He was this high, and he just grabbed his leg, and he just held onto his leg. And Keith walked to his bedroom, which is now my master suite. Don't play, boo. Don't play. And he didn't realize Sebastian was on his, a child would grab your leg and walk.
Right.
He didn't realize that. And I was like, wow, he's never done that before. Will you babysit my child for me when I want to go out? And he looked at me like, I said, because he really likes you. He's holding your leg and you don't know.
And he didn't
sitting
even
here.
know it.
He was just walking. He didn't know. He was just sitting. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. Well, I didn't know what he said to his cousin until later on. And then he invited me to a Super Bowl party. That's when I fell in love with the Dallas Cowboys. I was a Redskin fan at
I'm
first.
sorry, Raiders.
And we've been together ever since. We've been
So
together
when
ever
the
Oh, so
since.
you were
grabbed
staying
on-
with him before you got married, or?
I went to visit him. I knew his
Oh.
cousin. We worked
Oh.
together.
Oh, okay.
His cousin and I worked together. She invited me over because
Oh, okay.
she wanted me to go to church with her.
Oh, okay.
So I drove from Fort Worth over there,
Oh, okay.
and he had came in from work.
And so Sebastian grabbed his leg
Yes,
and didn't know him.
didn't know him. And
My
Keith walked
Lord.
past us to walk in his room, and Sebastian, you know how you see a man
Yeah.
was on his leg, right on his leg,
Uh-huh.
came in, came out, and I was like, wow, Sebastian's never gravitated to anybody like that. And when we walked to the front door, he said goodbye to us. And then I said, my son really likes you. If I ever want to go out with somebody else, not him, you mind babysitting? That's what I said. And he looked at me like,
Well, they keep saying nothing.
he just looked at me like, huh?
This girl is crazy.
What do you think? I said,
She don't even know me and go ask me to babysit her
I said, my
kids.
son really likes you. That's strange. So, and that's how that happened. But to answer your other question, yes, I did, boo. I did live with him before I married him. Enjoyed every minute.
This
Don't
girl
play
is so
with me.
crazy.
I'm grown.
But that is so cool
That is nice.
that he
Yeah.
took on your kids like that. I never
And that's
had.
another form of love that I
Yes.
think we don't sit down and talk about and explain,
Yeah.
because it takes a lot for anybody, either side, just sit down and do that. And sometimes you just have to sit down and just talk about love and the respect
Yes.
that should be. And that's one of the things
Yes.
I talk to my sons about. Now, he doesn't have, you don't, until he says for you to call him dad, his name is Mr. Keith. And when he feels comfortable enough,
That's cool.
then
Kim.
you said, we're just like, oh, he your dad, he can call you dad. He ain't
No.
gotta wait. No, that's disrespectful. And you wait. And then when he feels comfortable, then he realized one time, why are they still calling me Mr. Keith? I said, because you didn't say that's what you wanted.
Oh,
See,
that's
there's
so
a difference. You
sweet.
still have to have respect to
That's
me
right. I like
when
that.
I like that as
someone
well.
else
I like
takes
that.
upon your kids, because it's stressful.
Yeah.
And sometimes they don't want to be bothered. It's not like he started off with the child from the womb
yeah.
and it was
He's
his.
bringing on others.
He's picking up
yeah.
somebody else's kids.
So
And
how
then
was Sebastian then when they?
he wasn't quite 2 yet.
Okay, so
Mhm.
that's a good thing.
Yes.
And I still talked to them. I still told them about their dad
Mm-hmm.
and where we are now.
That's awesome.
And what I began to do is teach them
yes.
love.
Yes.
Because the Bible says for the older women, teach the young women how to love.
Yeah.
It didn't necessarily say it was a feeling or an emotion.
Yeah.
So I just began to teach them how to respect
Right.
Exactly.
their new dad.
Right.
And Keith is crazy about them boys. But that took me balancing it out,
Wow.
helping them understand, okay,
Mhm.
Where your dad is. It doesn't mean he's not your dad. And see, they called them both dads.
Right.
It was never stepdad.
Mm-hmm.
See, there was something a mom has to sit down and
Teach.
talk about.
That's
teach.
good.
I said, you never have to say he's not your dad. That doesn't even make sense. He
Yeah.
know that. We can all look at each other till your mama was a hoe. Don't even play. Your mom was out in them streets.
Yeah.
You need to stop.
Kim is funny.
You need to stop.
See, you caught it, Linda.
Yeah, I caught it. I
You
caught
need to
it.
stop.
I said, so don't be over here saying somebody married me and you guys. And at first Keith was so in love with Sebastian. I was like, okay, default to work. I ain't got to work overtime. You love him, okay, just because he
That's
hadn't had
cute.
sons, and Sebastian would always cling to him. Sebastian would always kiss them in the mouth. Now Sebastian said, I ain't never do that. It's like, Sebastian, yes you did, yes you did.
He didn't remember that part.
He didn't remember that. But it's just, I think love is just something that has to be taught and discussed. And for
Yes.
me, we both have to understand each person's needs.
There you go.
And my goal is not to
Respect.
let my need override his need. I think
needs. That's-
right. Like one
Yeah.
friend said, okay, y'all, like when we decorate, I always try to make sure I include him versus just having everything in the house the way I like it only.
Right.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So I find a way to incorporate what he likes and what I like without saying.
That's good.
Because if you really want him to be involved, you got to incorporate him. If you don't incorporate him,
He won't be involved.
and so when a woman says, well, he don't never want to do nothing to me, I said, oh, she didn't incorporate him. See, she telling on herself, but she's saying it's him.
Mhm.
So you didn't incorporate that person,
And that's
male
a
or
good
female.
point. I think
You didn't
that's what I
incorporate
missed
them.
out on a lot because I
It
didn't
is.
incorporate Glenn on a lot of stuff. Now that you said that, I
When
did.
you don't, and you have to find creative ways. That's the Holy Spirit.
That's it.
He'll show
That's
you
it. And
creative
he will
ways
show you too.
how to.
Yes.
Keith and I, when it comes to paint, baby, I need red, I need purple, I need yellow and orange.
Okay.
He don't want them. Them colors are too much for him.
I know that's
too
right.
much.
That's
too
a
much.
loud
You want a
color.
red room? That's too much. That's too much.
Yeah.
Okay, well, can I have that little room? And then you choose all the colors on the outside. And he'll say, okay. Because it was too overwhelming. Because sometimes I can be too, flamboyant for him.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, what the hell are you
Doing.
doing? And then
Uh-huh.
it'll grow on him. Like, now I want red curtains. I want red curtains like your shirt.
Yeah.
He'd be like, why?
Where did he get this from now? So he's been around you enough to. That's
To realize
awesome.
I'm not totally crazy, but it came with giving and taking.
Learning,
yeah.
Learning, giving
And
and
that's
taking.
what love is,
And
really.
that's what love
You
is.
think about love is
See, now
that.
that's a form of love.
That's love because you're
And in
respecting
love.
each person's space. And that goes to what? Communication.
Communication.
Love goes into communication, knowing, and just being respectful of each other.
But you know what's so amazing?
What's
It's
so
when you
amazing, Linda?
You know, when you first meet the person, I mean, you talk on the phone all night long.
All night long into
Till-
the morning
Till
hours.
it's time for you to get up and go to work.
Yes.
And you still not
and you
sleeping.
still won't be tired. And
Yes.
you talk, you know, and then the friendship, and then it's turned into something else. And you continue to talk, and you continue to talk. Communication.
Yes.
You tell them.
Yes.
You tell them everything that's going on with you, and
Yes.
you know, she and he tell everything.
Uh-huh.
But time you dot that line that cross that marriage license,
What happens?
communication drops to the floor, and you can't pick it up. And then you know you be talking and you say, well, I remember when, you know, like the truck and the woman in the truck.
Yeah.
Okay, but communication is the main event
Yeah.
in a marriage.
Mm-hmm.
It has to.
And it has to continue.
And you have to find, and you're going to find creative ways to communicate as you mature and you're in different
Yes.
seasons in life. Because Keith and I did that.
Yeah.
I can text him right now. He may not answer that text till next week.
See, but
He's like, oh, you text me. I said, honey, that was when I
That
was
was
on the
last
show.
week.
That was last week.
that done passed by.
And my friends laugh. I tell his mom, I said, he do both of us the same way. I don't get it. You know, I can call him, and if he working, and he was like, if it ain't a 911, okay, is it serious? Because I'm trying to get this done.
Uh-huh.
I got to get this done. So he's focused. He's locked in. And she'll come and she said, well, let Keith know I'm trying to talk. I said, okay. But we get the same, he treats us the same way. It's no different. He's not going to answer the phone. You ain't answer the phone for me. But I'll sure try, you know. But it doesn't mean he doesn't love us and
That's
care about
true.
us.
That's
He
it,
is the
because y'all
main
have a good
provider.
understanding.
He's the main
That's
provider.
right.
Where the money reside, where the money reside, I ain't mad. Let him do it, because I don't want to do nothing extra. That's why I ain't in the kitchen.
She ain't gonna cook, y'all. I'm
I
telling
don't
you.
want to do nothing
That's extra.
I'm the help maid.
Man, so
I
you
help. I'm helping him out. You know, and you just have to find those balances. And I just hate that so many people are missing out on love,
yeah.
good relation. I'm not talking about people that are fighting and stabbing each other, shoot
and
them
saying
up.
that's love.
You know,
That's not.
I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about good people are just
Yeah.
missing out on good guys,
Yes.
good women, because we're
yes.
looking for something that doesn't necessarily exist.
Yes, and it's not even in their relationship.
Yes.
You know, and,
yes.
and like I thought about when Billy, you know, when Billy was on the show. Shout out to you, Billy.
Billy, woohoo.
And your I think SNS Auto. But I thought about when Billy said that he want his ladies to be real with him.
Yes.
He don't want to have to
Yes,
wait
it is.
2 weeks down the road and then he find out, okay, she fussing and arguing all that. He wants them to be real. You
Right.
know, and a lot of time I think in communication we want to impress people when
Yes.
we first meet them.
Yes.
We impress them and
yes.
we go past sacrificing. We want to
Yes.
make sure everything is satisfying glory. Then once, like you said, sign on that dotted line. Well, I got him now. No, but you want to keep him. Because you can unsign off that dotted line.
You know,
too.
that's true.
See.
They say they do whatever they want.
Wanna
You know,
do.
all they want to do.
Is
And then when they
marry.
get married, it's
I
like,
got you
I
now.
got you now.
So I don't have
I
to,
don't have to.
to do all this work
that's
that I
not
did
true.
before. But I think you need to keep it up, really.
No, it's
Right, and you
getting
have to have
hard.
subtle ways. I think you have to have subtle ways. And Linda, go back to your question where you asked me, did I live with Keith?
What
He
was the
did give
question
me
she
my
asked?
ring prior before I moved in. He did give me my
What?
ring prior.
He did what?
He gave
gave
me
her
my
a
ring.
Oh,
I met
so
him
he
that
already
January.
had planned on marrying you.
That January I met him. That March he gave me a ring.
Okay.
He
That
said
was
he,
less than 3 months, wasn't
he said he knew he was gonna marry me. I said, well, I'm still asking God. Today I'm still, Jesus, did I marry the right person? I'm still
So
asking.
he already knew he loved
He
you.
already knew. And where I lived in Fort Worth, he didn't like it because it wasn't safe.
Uh-huh.
It was a drug house across the street where we were.
Okay.
hmm And he said, well, just come on until we're married. I'm not comfortable with where you live.
it?
That was sweet.
Because
You know.
he normally wouldn't let anybody stay in his house.
Mhm.
No, nobody ever stayed. No girl stuff, nothing like that. But yeah, and so he's like, no, bring the kids over here. This is just not a safe area.
Now,
So
that
yeah,
was
that's
really
how that
sweet.
happened.
So what did his cousins say?
Oh, they were excited. They were excited.
So the cousin probably knew he was going to ask you to marry him.
You know, I
He
don't know if
said
they knew
something.
prior. We just
Uh-huh.
all worked together. And she introduced us because she said, "Oh y'all." She said something like, "Oh y'all." She was way younger.
Mhm.
And she's like, "Oh y'all kind of both alike. Y'all don't do nothing." I was like, what? I thought reading books and social media was something. But to them, when they're like 15 years younger, it's not the same. It's like, oh, you'd be great for my cousin. You don't do anything. And I was like, well, I did. I thought I had a glamorous life, but young people,
and her eyesight, you didn't.
I didn't have a glamorous life.
Well, I like your relationship. I think that's a neat relationship.
And I like for Keith to be honest.
Mhm.
You know, because my brothers, I have 6 brothers. My dad, just say what you gotta say. You don't have to try to fluff it up.
Mhm.
You know. Well,
And that's a good statement, because I wasn't used to the honesty the way Glenn is, and he didn't sugarcoat anything.
yeah.
And he didn't. Now, if you ask him a question, he was going to answer it.
Yes.
And a lot of time I didn't like the way he answered the question.
Right.
But I knew he was honest and he's still like that today.
Yes.
If you ask him a
Lord,
question,
gee.
Don't ask me.
he's gonna give it to you. And then
That's
the other
true.
part I liked about it, he always included God in it. He always put Jesus in it. He's gonna tell you this part of the. And sometimes I didn't want to hear the Bible. I just didn't want you to give me no scripture. I didn't want to hear nothing about it. I just want. But then when I thought about it, he would say, "All I can do is answer it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm just gonna answer the question." And he would answer the question. And boy, I would get real mad at him for that. But as you know, and like you said, Kim, you brought a good point. You said we don't give love time to mature.
No, we don't.
If things don't go our way, like we first thing we want to say, you don't love me anymore.
Get out of
Yes.
it.
We want to get out of it. And then we think we'll go find another man to do this and this. And you know, I used to think Glenn was weak. I used to think he was a weak man because the way he loved me, I wasn't used to that. Okay.
Mhm.
He loved me and cared me. So anything I wanted, it was like, go do it. If you want to do this, go do it.
Yeah, Keith
And
said
I
that,
thought,
go
like,
do it.
Man, is he gonna ever say no? You can't go and do this? Is he gonna ever say, you know what I'm saying? But that was his way. But now when it get to the point where it was a little too, he would stop me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He was like, no, you can't. No, that's a little too much right there. Now you can go over here, but now you're not going to Paris. We can't afford Paris now. You can go to Kiev there. You know what I'm saying?
You get on over there to
Yeah,
Virginia,
you know, but it was like
No.
anything that I really wanted. So I was thinking he was weak, like, you know, oh, he just let me do what I want to do and all that. And Mom used to tell me, you got a good man. That man loves you.
Mhm.
And you think that he's weak and everything. And she said, no, he just loved you to a point. You haven't gotten to that point where he'll say, reel back in now.
Mhm.
Mhm.
You know,
Right.
and a lot of times women, we might get to that point where we think that he's weak, but really he's a strong man because
Yeah,
he's
he
a
is.
provider.
Mhm.
He's out there working. And his goal was for me to take the kids. He couldn't go a lot of times because he's in construction.
That's it.
But he
That's
would
it.
always provide. Take the kids on trips, you know,
Mhm. Yes,
whatever
that's
we
how
want to
Keith
do.
was. Mhm.
We would take the kids
So,
on a trip and
yes.
everybody would be like, you're your husband. I said, but he works, he contracted, he can't come a lot of time.
Mhm.
But he wanted the kids to go. So I throw all the kids, we go on an adventure trip. We would go to places we've never been before.
That's
Right.
right.
And we would I would take them to different
And-
places. And women would look at me like, girl, you just go too much without your husband. He gonna be doing this and this.
And see, that's the devil.
You know, that's what I'm saying.
Yes, it
Adding that
is.
in.
Right.
Mind
And
your
that
own
makes
business. I
you
ain't
get
explaining
I got
nothing to
jealous.
you.
I started
Mhm.
get jealous because I kept hearing
Tell
this.
about the road trip
Yeah,
you're
you
taking
know.
on your
Oh, when I got lost at the house.
we're trying to
But you
follow
know,
pastor.
but that's how Satan will be. Because see, I'm having fun with my babies, you know,
Yes.
and
Oh my
I would
gosh,
take their little
yes.
friends with them, and I wasn't thinking about that because I knew Glenn loved me. But you hear all these other women telling you, girl, you leaving him at home by yourself, and you out there on trip. I know he got a woman on the side. That's the reason why he let you go out on a trip. And these weren't young women my age. These were older women.
Mhm. Don't they be throwing
you should have
stuff
put
in
them
there?
back in
These
their
were
place.
older women. And, you know, I always looked up, you know, because we were taught
Yeah,
to
you
respect
shoulda-
older
you shoulda
women.
said-
And I
Yeah,
listened to older
that's
women,
true.
you know, and
Mhm.
they would tell me this stuff, you know, and I don't know why I listened to them too much because Mama always used to tell me, don't let people come into your marriage when you get married.
That's
You
right.
don't tell people about going on in your marriages, you know, like that.
That's
And these
true
older ones would
statement.
tell me that, and I started getting jealous. And so one night I was laying up in the bed and Glenn, it was about like almost 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and I heard this voice say, yeah, he with a woman. He ain't out there working, he with a woman. And I got up, put my clothes on, And this one was so funny. I didn't even know where. All I knew he was working over in this little city. And I said, well, I'm going to find him. And this voice told me exactly how to get to him. That's why I know Satan is real. This voice told me how to get to him, told me what street. I don't even know where it was a new development out there.
Uh-huh.
And I followed that voice all the way down. And it was black dark, y'all. I mean, you can't see nothing. That voice took me straight to where my husband was working. And I sit there and I saw it. Then he said, stop your car. I stopped the car. Now walk. I walked all the way down this little dirt road. Didn't know where I was going. And when I got up to the thing, I could see him in there working. Didn't dawn on me. You done pulled up and saw the truck. You know he ain't with nobody, but I'm still hearing his voice. Yeah, he got somebody in that house. He got that. I go down there, my poor baby down there, girl, just working away, just putting down the stuff and all this stuff. Then I get back in the car. I ain't heard nothing. I done got lost out there. Didn't know which way to go. The voice didn't tell me how to get back home. I'm out there driving all around and sell me in the back in the same thing. Didn't want Glenn to see me. And thank God we didn't have 360 so he could see that. But that's how you can be so crazy and listening to these, I call them these deep demons telling you this stuff. But he didn't tell me to get out. And I prayed. I said, Lord, if you ever get me out of here, I won't do this again. Do you know God got me out there, got me home? I jumped back in the bed, played like I said about 10 minutes later. Glenn pulled up and I was saying, now what if he had got home before me? Mm-hmm. You know, but I said, now I would have to explain, what are you doing up at this time of night? What are you doing? Oh my God. You know, oh my God. But he didn't want to come home because I would just accuse him of this, and he said, I don't want to hear this. And he would just sit there and look at me like I'm crazy. And he could have. I could have ran him out there and made him want to go be with a woman, you know?
Sure could have. And
the Bible said you'd rather be on the rooftop than listen to an old fussing, arguing woman. But you know, love can make you do some crazy things, you know? What was that song? Falling in love. But now, good love.
Have different kinds of love.
Yeah, you do. You have a lot of different love. But that agape love and all of this kind of love, you know. Right. Mm-hmm. There was all those different love, but I am growing. Mm-hmm. I'm still growing.
And I think I'm always in the door of the church. I'm in the church, under the church, at the conference over here.
You ain't joking, huh? She see I'm
everywhere.
Girl, but we're going to invite this one to the show. I met this one. Oh, go ahead.
Got the Bible glued over here. Got this in the car. Got CDs, tapes, and everything. But Keith expresses love better than I do. He shows the love of Christ.
And you hearing it teaching and being around, and he shows the better than you.
Not in the church all the time, not talking to pastor, nobody. He shows the love of Christ more than I do.
See there?
He really does.
See? That's good.
The boy, Sebring was in gymnastics, became state champion. And 20 years for the Arlington ISD. He won in the event he was in, first in 20 years for Arlington ISD. Now, you got to realize, Keith has a company truck, so you go to work in the morning, wherever he work, drive back home, get the car, drive back to the school to get Sebring.
Wow.
Because he couldn't, kids, family can't be in the company truck.
Right.
That's right.
And take Sebring on the other side of Arlington to gymnastics practice. He did that for 2-3 years.
And didn't complain, did he?
That's love.
That's love.
That's not his birth child. And I know he always says, don't say it. I said, but people have to see
the love.
They need to see that maybe they're missing this in the relationship they have because they're looking at someone else. Yeah. Now, I couldn't leave my job to take Sebring to gymnastics. It just wasn't like that. I'm way in Fort Worth. Yes. Let me come home, go get him every day for practice. Well, I think they did it 4 days. Mm-hmm. And his commitment to Sebring. See, those are things that people don't see.
Right. Well, let me ask you this. By him loving you, did that make him love the kids as well?
I think it's a combination because I really taught my children day by day how to respect him and how to talk to him. How to respect when he come home and he's tired. It's like Nan Sebastian, Mom, I'm tired. I want to call you, but I don't call you. I said, so all those times when Dad was tired, do you understand now? Oh, yeah. You can always go to the game.
Let me ask you this. So it really starts with the mother, really. Yeah. When you're coming into a marriage with children, that mother I'm listening to you because this is going to help some other mothers.
Yes, it is.
Because I'm hearing that it has to start with the mother teaching her children how to respect this man that she has brought into her
And
house,
to me,
right?
it's the reality of life.
Mhm.
One day you're going to grow up and you're going to have to work. Oh, my dad didn't love me because he didn't come to see me, or he didn't.
Mhm.
You know, me and your dad didn't get along. That's why he not here. Some things I didn't do
Don't have
right.
nothing to
Okay,
do
that's
with
all.
you.
It don't have to do with you.
Right.
Then you're here right here. We're going to thank God for this dad.
Mhm.
And then I'm going to walk you through some things.
I like that. Mhm.
Because Sebastian would say, Mom, all the kids that have other dads or other moms, they're always going stepmom, stepdad. But I don't say that.
That's right. This is what you teach.
And I didn't make him. I didn't make
Right.
him not say that. He said we don't say that. But in order to let someone know who I'm talking about, sometimes I have to say stepdad. And the things that happen in their families, it don't happen in our family.
Mm.
Because
They
of
don't have it in
what?
our
The
family.
teaching.
I had to sit down and teach.
You have to
I had to
teach
sit down
them.
and talk with them and teach them and ask them questions and things like that. You know, how they were feeling, different emotions. And it was just a constant day by day. And I think Jennifer Moss said the other day, she said, Kimberly, God allowed you to have a husband that gave you the opportunity to raise your children in a godly environment.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
And she was just saying how neat that was. And I said,
That-
oh, I hadn't looked at it like that, Jennifer. But it was a lot of talking, helping them deal with their emotions.
Right.
Because Seaborn was very close to his dad, his birth dad, when he left. And so I just had to talk him through that, because he used to just sit, and every time he hear a Suburban, he'd look out the window because he thought it was him.
Dang.
So I knew I had to verbally walk him through that
Mhm.
versus telling him, oh, your dad left.
And this, and
Oh,
I
he
like
didn't do this
that.
for your mama. Now your mama was crazy. And let him come back. Oh, sorry, Steve.
But see, you took on your ownership of that part of the
Oh, that's
relationship.
crazy.
Because see, a lot of women don't do that. So women, you all have to really think about I mean, you know, listening to you, Kim, you took on a lot of that, and you taught your kids. You didn't teach them against their dad.
Exactly.
You didn't teach them against their dad. You still taught them to love their dad. But at the same time, here's Keith in the picture, so you taught
He
them
took
both
on us family.
how to do that. And,
So
and you
both
know,
of them.
I couldn't even. I mean, if you hadn't said that years ago, I mean, when I met you, I would have really thought Keith was their dad.
Yeah, a lot of people
You
do.
know what I'm
They
saying?
really
Yeah.
do.
Because I didn't hear nothing else about
So
nobody
both,
else but Keith.
Yeah. So both of them call him dad.
Mhm, they both say dad.
Oh.
And they act like it too.
They
act
really
like
do.
that. Yeah.
I
And that
wouldn't
was
have
my
known.
goal.
I wouldn't have either if she hadn't
Because the
mentioned.
thing is, if you die, if I would have died before,
Right.
I still wanted him to want
Your kid.
the desire to want to keep them and take care of them.
Yes.
Mhm.
yes.
And not put them out because, oh, yo, bitch, mama left.
Right.
You know what I'm
She
saying?
gone.
Your
Now
mama
y'all
got on
got
my
to
nerves.
go.
I don't want y'all around me either. So I had to make sure that, you know, by way of the Holy Spirit, I'm not taking credit from God.
Right.
Just asking God daily
My Lord.
how
That's
to keep
good.
this family together, how to solidify what God started.
That
See,
is
God
awesome.
started it. It was up to me to determine how it went.
Wow.
I ain't need to get married no more, y'all. Ooh, Lord Jesus.
So how long you and Keith been married now? How long y'all been married?
I think it's
Think.
think it's,
What you mean you think, Kim?
I think we on 18. I think we're on 18.
Oh, that's
18,
That's good.
18.
That's good. But you know, I hope you all was listening to
Wow,
Kimberly's
this-
testimony,
That was
because that was good.
Yes,
Because
it
you need to train up a child
was. In the
Mhm.
way.
in the way that he should go.
Yeah.
And mama, one thing, you know, mom would tell me when I was raising the kids, and she would say, don't play the kids, you know.
Yes.
Don't
yes.
send one over here and then they go over here. You and Glenn both get together and make that decision, because they'll come and say, well, I'm saying I can do it, Dan said I do. But love make you come together and reason
Oh, and let me
together.
say now, I also taught them not to disrespect their mom, their stepmom.
Right.
That
Mhm.
same way you treat me is the same way you treat her.
Treat her. And
And you don't need to tell
and
her
that's
she's
love.
not your mom. You don't need to say none of that. That's who your dad chose.
And you respect
And the
her.
same, you're gonna respect her.
Mhm.
And she loves him.
And I think it works better when they have that, when the mother teach them and train them how to do that.
And you don't lose their love.
Uh-huh.
You gain it.
You gain it.
Because that way they're not confused.
Yeah, and that is awesome. I am so glad Kimberly shared her story tonight.
Yes.
It just went, and this is love. And what she was sharing with you is love in a marriage and love bringing up the children in a marriage. And this is so, and I hope you all pay attention to what she was saying. She checked herself. And a lot of times we don't check ourselves to see if we are the cause of a lot of problems. We always want to blame the other person. And that started with Adam and Eve. Eve started blaming the snake and then it went on. So everything that you're doing, if you are a Christian and you read your Bible, it's an answer in that Bible.
Yes, it is.
The Bible has an answer to everything that you're going through. You ask God. God said, if you want wisdom, ask him. And if you really want to know love, the Bible teaches you love. And Jesus loved us so much that he sent his only begotten son so that we have the opportunity to accept him or not accept him. Why would you not want to accept somebody that died on the cross for you and rose again to give us the life of liberty, to be able to go out and witness and tell your testimony how good God is? Hasn't he done something for you? He blessed her marriage. He blessed her with wonderful children. Young gentlemen, handsome young men too, y'all.
Thank you.
Handsome young men, very respectable young men. And they're both in the Navy. They're both in the Navy.
And my oldest son, he's over the road truck.
And then, and he's very respectable too. Got a nice voice.
And, and by the way, Carlos told me to say all this.
Look at Carlos, how he looking. Carlos trained you well.
Carlos trained me to say all this for all the men out there.
But like I said, we're going to be talking about love all this month. Thank you, Kimberly, for sharing that. That was so cool. But before we close, we got to have our model of the Monday night model. So Kimberly is going to show off, and I love that top. I love that outfit, her bags, and all this. So take your mic so we can hear you. I really enjoyed this.
Yes. This is my jacket from, of course, Zoe, Victoria, Daphne.
Hi, Daphne.
This is my Valentine jacket. And once again, this is my Anna Highmark bag. It's called the Men at Work bag. Yes.
That's cute.
Of course, my Men at Work. That's the guy that works on the highway.
Oh, really? That is so cool.
That's the Men at Work bag. I love all her bags. They're lightweight. They're called featherweight bags. And of course, my favorite boots.
Let me see your boots. You got to walk out there.
Yeah, my favorite boots.
Towards the camera. Yes.
Oh, and she has a body to fit her clothes, does she, y'all? AARP is looking good to me.
Yes. Turtleneck, so I just
that sort of
coupled it with the third turtleneck. Us old folks got it going on.
Carlos sleep tonight. We got to tune Carlos in later on. Carlos is our man of wisdom and knowledge as we think he is. So I think Carlos sleep tonight. He didn't even call in tonight, did he?
He didn't give us no
now,
shout
Carlos,
out.
no, Sister Chat. What you got to say, Carlos? Oh, okay. We have to ask Carlos.
Were we good tonight, Carlos?
Carlos, we're going to call in on you next time.
Love, okay, Carlos?
All right. But anyway, thank you, Kimberly. That was awesome. And she shared her love story tonight. I didn't even get to my questions because we was off into her stuff, but that was interesting. And a lot of people, please listen to how knowledgeable how to teach your children, train them up in the way that they should go. And you never know, that person that she trained or you train may be there to help nurture them and be there to support them. So I thank you for sharing. I always love her when she does our model on Monday. Again, tune in every Monday and Thursday. We'll be doing Sister Chat. And again, if you have a topic that you would love for us to talk, we will love those topics. But this month, we're going to be dealing with love. We're going to have different guests on. So, hey, tune in every Monday and Thursday if you would like to be a guest on the Talk of Life Talk Show with Elma, Kimberly, and Linda. Check me out at www.elmatalkshow.com or inbox me on Messenger, on Facebook. And please subscribe to the Talk of Life Talk Show with Elma. And if you would like to make a donation, we will love that. We need sponsors. We want to make this show bigger and better.
Yes.
So please be a sponsor and donate to the Talk of Life Talk Show with Elma. And we'll have a Cash App coming up. We're going to have different ways that you can send in your donation because we want to be a blessing to somebody. So please, if you got some extra cash, please think about Kimberly, Linda, and myself on the Talk of Life Talk Show with Elma. We love you until we see you what?
Face
to face.